This for all the haters, James. We tell them to dig a hole. Dig their own hole to bury themselves in.
Don't talk to the haters. I just look at them. Oh, hold on.
Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome in. Come on in, get in here. It's what he said with Kevin Walker. Man, I reached into my bag of tricks today. Got my girl Jane Taylor. I remember when Jane was just a baby girl walking down the street from school. Thought she was a little cute dog skinned cheerleader.
Cheerleader here.
It's my
No
girl Jane,
cheerleader.
man. Don't tell me dog skinned women ain't beautiful. Huh?
Let's say no black dark skin women ain't either.
Hey, welcome everybody in. Again, this is what he said with Kevin Walker. I'm glad you guys are tuned in to join us this evening. I got a very special lady on here with me tonight, Miss Jane Taylor. Jane, introduce yourself. Tell them what you all about, mama. Tell them what all you got going on with Bot Shop. So you don't want, okay, I'm going to let you do your own introduction.
Thank you, because this is what he said. So that's a whole different audience, a whole different person. This Jane to Fly that you said you wanted to have a conversation with. So I'm gonna introduce her. That's
Okay.
who you said you wanted to talk to.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yes, I'm Jane Taylor from the South, MLK and Reed, Thrush Street, representing Jesse H. Jones, class of 1995, all the time, you know, because class of 1995 was live, the Falcons. I'm an entrepreneur, business owner. I have a spot on the South if you're looking for a small little space to host your meeting, entrepreneurs, you know, small business folks, you know, looking for a kids party, hit me up. So yeah, that's me, Jane to Fly.
So Jane, give us the address of your spot or give us a number that we can call if somebody wants to rent your spot at.
The best way to get in touch with me, you can definitely find me with Jane to Fly on Instagram, on Facebook, Jane Taylor. You know, hit me up. My Jane Taylor is a public page. You can just, you know, hit me up straight up, or you can, just inbox girl, DM, one of them.
Okay, look.
Let me know what you, if there's, you know, anything I can do to help you with your small business.
So this isn't one of our topics for tonight, but I know you've been on a different kind of journey here recently because I see you every now and again posting pics, you and one of your girls, y'all on this weight loss thing and y'all work out. I don't know if it's a weight loss. Let me correct myself.
No, baby, correct yourself. Do I look like I've been losing weight?
No, that's why I said let me correct myself. It could be just a thing about being healthier and fit. Okay, well, can you
yes, well, definitely listen, y'all. If you, I mean, this COVID has been real on people physically, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, and for me, I just need to have something to, you know, set base with. Definitely spirituality, but you know that sometimes don't help you in the physical. You get hungry and want to eat everything up. So I try to use, you know, physical fitness. You know, like I told you, I'm Jane Taylor from the South, Jesse H. Jones. You know, we dominated in girls sports from 91 to 94. And I can represent that Hartman Middle School too. You know what I'm saying, on that domination from that, you know, in those 80s, but I'm not gonna get into that, okay?
Yeah, I must have been dead.
To keep my mind and my body together, we try to work out. Me and my best friend, we've been knowing each other since Hartman Middle School, went to high school, college together, and we have a page that you can follow if you want some cool little ratchet little workouts. She keeps me fit.
So they are ratchet, though. You do know they ratchet, right?
That's the whole thing about it. The thing about it is the reality is what y'all men don't know is when women go to work out, we
Uh-huh.
not listening to that R&B y'all think we listening to. We Megan Thee Stallion in this boy, the baby. We like all the stuff you should not be listening to. So we have decided to make that our platform for our workouts.
I hear
So
you. I hear you. So
yeah,
we have about 4 topics that I wanted to just rake across your brain.
yes.
And we're going to touch on each one of them about 15 minutes because we only going to be here for like an hour.
Okay.
So I'm going to just run them by everybody who chimes in. The 4 things that we're going to discuss tonight. One is going to be, so do light-skinned women feel the so-called privilege that darker-skinned women say exist? So you're a darker-skinned sister.
Yes.
So I want to know, and we'll come back. Do you think light-skinned women have privilege? We'll come back. Hold your thought. Hold your thought. So another topic that we're going to touch on is, why do women date married men? This is a 2-part question. Why do women date married men and then crucify other women who turn around and do the same thing? So if you're dating a married man, some chicks say, well, I don't know why Jane messed with that married man. But you just got through doing the same thing she was doing. But we'll talk about that later, Jane. Hold your thought on that. Hold your thought on that. Do men expect for women, yes, do men expect for women to be women until the bills hit the table? And we will, hold your thoughts. My last one gonna hit home and maybe step on some toes for some women. So are all these mommy makeovers due to low self-esteem? Or do women really have that many health concerns? So they're trying to lose weight the easy way instead of the exercise, the ratchet calisthenics that you spoke of earlier in that system. But we're going to go back to our first topic of the night.
Okay.
So, Jane, here we go.
Okay.
Give it to me as real and as raw as you can. So, do you think that there is truly a level of, how do I want to put it? How do I want to phrase it? A level of privilege for light-skinned women? Because I hear a lot of dark-skinned sisters take offense. Because they say, oh, because she light-skinned, she think this. Or because she light-skinned, she think that. Do you think that's a real thing? Or do you think that's a go-to for darker-skinned women?
No, I think it's a real thing, but I don't think that it's just exclusive to skin color. I think that's definitely probably a more dominant conversation in the Black community, which has a colorism problem in and of itself. So yes, I do believe within the Black community that it is a real thing that women who have lighter skin have a privilege or especially amongst Black men who, we can get real deep and dirty as far as like historically, where that may have come from. But Black men have always kind of held that at a high esteem as far as like a quality that they think is dominant amongst women, But I think that there are other privileges that women who are dark skinned have over women who are light skinned. I mean, but definitely, is there a privilege, a color privilege in the Black community amongst women? Yeah, I actually believe that, but I don't think that these privileges are just limited to skin color.
Okay, let me ask you this, along that same line with dark-skinned women and light-skinned women. Who do you think get the most play from men? A dark-skinned woman or a light-skinned sister? Because for a long time, everybody wanted that red bone, Jane.
Oh yeah, I mean that was definitely the only option in the 80s, in the 80s and the 90s. Like that was it. Like that was dominant. Like you definitely had to have some other dominant qualities about you if you were dark skinned. So that doesn't mean that, just because you're a dark skinned woman, you didn't have like, desirable traits. It's just that you had to have these other traits, definitely, if you were in the 80s or the 90s, because and even now, like, the music is still about, the young people are still making light-skinned girl songs, you know what I'm saying? Red bone songs, songs about foreign women, anything but a dark skinned cis. Now, granted, I think that is definitely not amongst the younger clan. They value all kind of quality. So a young dark skinned chick is probably not experiencing what some 50-year-old woman who was darker skinned might have experience. But I did, yes, definitely. And we only are talking about skin color and men who are shallow enough to only judge on that. Then I do think that it is a dominant, skin tone in the African American community. However, I'm gonna keep on talking about these other dominant qualities that don't have nothing to do with skin, that a lot of dark skinned women may have that, light skinned cis may not, possess.
So what about in the business world?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that business maybe for lighter skinned women, like you being a business owner now, do you think lighter skinned women in that particular realm have maybe got a little more privilege because, they
Only in a white dominated culture, like if you're talking about something like corporate America, that once
corporate
again
America, that's
is,
exactly what I was thinking of.
that's a part of like a colonized sort of mind frame anyway. Like it's, it's about slavery anyway in corporate America. So of course they're going to, the closer to, white is right, then of course then yes, I think, but I'm not a part of corporate America. I'm an entrepreneur, and in that realm, it's all about the person who has the best ideal, has the best plan. I think that's it's not as important, or not even like, especially it's enough because all Black folks are such a small factor in in business ownership. That tends to not be like a real thing. But I think when it comes to white dominated spaces like venture capitalists, maybe startup, maybe corporate America, sure, yeah, nothing has changed. Anytime white folks are over stuff, they're gonna make sure that Black people are seeing each other as different. So we
So
the pie.
So you're telling me if you were light skinned Jane, even in the corporate world right now, for yourself, for what you do in your enterprise, if you light skinned Jane and you walk in that building, you're not gonna get a little more privilege than what dark skinned Jane get?
No, that ain't gonna have nothing to do with it, because I have to deal with being a woman in a male dominated space. I work in business, entrepreneurship, startup. I work in technology, on the edge of innovation. So no one cares about, first of all, where the other Black people in the space that I'm in. There are very few Black people. And if they are Black, then they're probably going to be a Black male, which we're going to be click tight. We on the same road because there's so few of us. So it's not an issue that I told you, but the space that I think that is a real privilege is amongst Black men who are choosing, qualities that they want to mate with or that they want to date with. Once you lose that space, or a male dominated space like white corporate America, where white men value white is right, then yes, in those spaces that are, kind of set to oppress Black women, sure. But when there's a space for Black women to, we already oppressed and we together, we don't give a shit. We don't care. Light skin, dark skin, we all in. It don't matter. But definitely Black men tend to, I think, find that as a privilege when it comes to whether they want to mate or whether they want to date. They're gonna want to go for, but that's a particular Black man. Now, mind you, you still can't just be out here just light skin only. I don't think it's a light skin only thing.
Now,
Other
you brought up
qualities.
you brought up certain qualities that they're looking for in a mate, and bringing up the mating theme, meaning husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend.
Or
I'm gonna
just
use
doing
that,
it.
I'm gonna use that as a tease to just go and walk over into our next topic of the night, which is I'm gonna ask you the first part of the question first, James. And I don't know if you have or hadn't, and you don't have to say if you have or hadn't, but why do women date married men?
I mean, that is something that you would have to definitely ask a woman who dates married men. But I can tell you this from firsthand experience when I was in my 20s in college, why I dated a married man that one time. And it was because I was lazy.
You were
And I was
who?
really lazy. I
Lazy.
did not
Okay.
lazy, baby. I did not, and I think this is why a lot of women date married men because they themselves can't make the commitment. You know what I'm saying? Like they want to give the 20%, not the 80%. And when I was in college, I remember, and until I had to learn firsthand how that do value my own self, and that's why I had, that's that one time at one time. But yeah, it was out of laziness. It was literally because I didn't want to be, like necessarily committed, but then I knew that he needed, he was more committed than I ever was, and I liked that, you know. But
Did you?
it wasn't worth it dignity wise, so it wasn't my thing. But the women that I know who currently date married men, is still a lazy thing. It's them wanting a variety and not having to be committed themselves. So
Mm-hmm.
dating guys who are emotionally unavailable is a great way to deal with it.
So when you say laziness, how do or how does a female benefit through her laziness when dating a married man? I mean, are we speaking from him giving her money, or I mean, what exactly? What avenue? What
Well, I
avenue of
mean, if you think about it, he has to go home. He has to, go to work. He has to, if he has children, he has to make those commitments. So, I mean, really, he is not that available. So, even in him being consistent with you, you're talking about a couple of days a week, at max, you know, what is she doing the rest of that time? Possibly serial dating, maybe dating multiple married men, or maybe even dating some other guys and doing what it is that she do. So just I'm saying that's what I mean by laziness, not wanting to be committed themselves, not wanting to be that person that's putting all that energy into a relationship that, they obviously have distrust with men too. They don't
uh-huh.
trust men themselves. So that's why, and I don't want to have any type of judgment because so many people, so many situations in dating are so unique, just like I never planned to date a married guy. You know what I'm saying? I never planned to date a married man. It's just that when we were friends and not dating, I wasn't interested in him. He got married and our interest towards each other changed. No one, I really did like him before, but it was just anyway. Long story short, people don't be, sometimes I'm not talking about people that go out and hunt other people's husbands. And I never think that, infidelity of any sort is okay. But
Mm-hmm.
I do know we human and people be getting themselves into shit.
So here's what I've encountered. I've encountered so many women that date married men. Hell, when I was married, I dated a woman forever. I mean, I'm gonna just be real. I'm gonna be transparent, Jane. I ain't gonna throw my subject matter out there if I can't crucify
What
myself.
he said, this show showing this what
Well,
he said say. So he didn't say it, y'all.
yeah, go on sip your tea or your mimosa. So most of the women I know receive so much backlash from other women, and they guilty of the same thing. Jay, like they crucify a woman. Well, why she messing with that married man? Is most of it out of jealousy?
you know what? I can't even speak first. I feel horrible because I can't speak first person for that because I'm not a woman that dates married men. I don't tend to hang around those type of women. Not, I hate that I even use type because I'm not trying to type those women. I'm just saying that's not my. I couldn't tell you why because well, I can tell you this. I can tell you from a single woman's perspective why I would be like talking about one of my homegirls who got cheated on and then she stayed with her nigga and then now here I am that got cheated on now and talked about her and now and did the same thing. I can tell you why that happened because it's easier said than done.
Well, tell me why does that happen?
Because it's easier
you
said
just
than
went
done.
through the same thing like you just said.
But I'm saying, like, I think it's a similar reason because it's easy to say some shit when you're not going through it. Like, it's easier for you to sit outside someone's situation and be like, oh, I'll never do that. Or, oh, you know, that's easy. That's so easy to do. But when that same situation, you know, like this, some individual who you didn't know you would have like this connection with, all of a sudden they sit in front of you and you got a decision to make. Now you done did the same stuff. But it's too late. You done already smashed her on what she did. You know, like I said, I can't go with the situation with a female, but I would imagine that's why. Then why you were talking that crap about what she did, you didn't realize, you know, how funny it looks when you're standing in those shoes. You know, like that view changes, and you know those decisions are a little bit different to make. You know, like I said, going back to a cheater.
So let me ask you. I had two people, and I just want to read their comments real quick. Felicia Williams said, getting the bills paid, because that married man probably taking care of them bills. And then Trishana Williams just chimed in and said, what are the expectations of dating a married man? Like, really, what do you expect from a married man? And I'm not, again, we know you don't know because you say you don't get on like that.
I mean, but I know women who do it. And I'm like, and I know women of all different caliber who get down like that, from women who have real bills being paid, you know, by a married man. And like literally to the point that if they were to end that relationship, that would probably change their lifestyle, you know, to women who are serious, you know, like, because like I said, that laziness of just serially messing with a married man, smashing that situation and moving on to the next one just because they lack the interest in commitment. But I think definitely there are some expectations when women date married men. Like, you pay like you wait in my own eye view of these situations.
Here has always been my thing. And
where you are, okay, before you ask that, can I ask you this?
Yeah, sure. Anything you want.
When you were a you know, I wish I could remember that good name for those men, those cheating men who are married. Philanderer. Yeah.
A whore? Go ahead.
When you were a philanderer, did you know, pay bills and stuff like that?
The lady I dated didn't require that. And
did you take her on dates?
Jane, I saw this. We never really went on dates. We would end up places, purposeful, and have dinner at the same places. But there was never a, hey, I'm going to come get you and take. We would end up at parties because we had mutual friends. And some people knew what was going on. Some people didn't.
Were you ever with your wife and the woman in the same room? Like, was it one of those sort of disrespectful situations, or was your wife like never, like she never knew?
What's crazy is, okay, again, this is what he said. My wife knew what was going on. But Jane, I'm gonna say this. What can you say to me when you doing your shit?
Oh, so y'all had an open marriage.
Not verbally, we never had the conversation that it was going to be open.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, I was just trying to find out. So what did the lady require? I mean, did she have another man? Was she one of those lazy ones that probably had her about two other boyfriends?
No, she didn't. Like, I had a key to her house and everything. The entire time we fooled around, 10 years. I'm going to just put it out there. Probably more. Probably more like 12
But let
years.
me tell you, I got a theory on why a woman would stay with you or stay with any married man for 10 years and actually be committed to the relationship, which is why I try as a single woman to do the exact opposite of this. Listen to this, like you have to always be agile. The moment a man knows
She was
that
very
you,
agile. She
I would listen to what I mean by agility. I ain't talking about
go
that type
ahead.
of agility.
I'm just being silly. Go ahead.
I ain't even talking about that type of agility. I'm talking about looking like, oh, I ain't got time to start over. Oh my God, I ain't got time. I don't feel like being out here and getting to know somebody else or dating. As soon as men see that you don't have that energy, that's when they pray. That is when they run from me because they know I'm agile. They know I got time. I will make time for dates. I'm making time to get to know who I have time. So they don't got time for me. I look agile. And when, and if somebody put you, I ain't gonna even give it to me. Ladies, that lady he was with for 10 years. Was she agile, Kevin?
I mean,
she didn't have time. She was not going to be out there trying to get to know a whole new person. She'd have been messing around with you for 3 years.
Let me say this.
She gave up at 3 years, y'all.
Jane, let me say this. I used to tell her all the time, hey man, I'm not trying to stop nobody or trying to stop her from doing what she want to do, doing her thing.
But you knew she wasn't agile. You knew she wasn't going to get out there and do it. That's how you kept her on that hook for 10 years. Because otherwise, baby, if she'd have did one push-up for her life, she'd have been out of there. Or at least start her team, couple of work, folks out
somebody
here.
Say she must have fell in love. Women are emotional creatures. Feelings were involved.
Yes. Yes. That's what I mean by that lack of agility. That's what I mean by that lack of agility is that falling in love with someone who is not emotionally available. This was a whole married man who wasn't emotionally available, wasn't available for commitment, and you sat down in their relationship.
So somebody else asked, when you cheated, did you lead her on like you were going to leave your wife?
Oh, that's a good question. Good, sis, because that was my next one.
No, I never had to. That's my point. Like
she was not listening. You ain't got to tell me. I'm done with her in the sense that I already came to the conclusion that sis decided that having half a man was better than having no man at all. So I'm just gonna take what I got and work with me. Do you understand what I mean? She had just already decided that. No, sis. That's that emotional, like the other lady said, that emotional connection to you made her give up on other people being able to connect like that. No, sis, you gotta stay agile. Stay agile. Even if you have two other, even if they not even the guy that you would really want to be with, you need somebody telling you, you beautiful girl. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna get into that. What's the next subject?
I'm just showing you what made her stay, Jane. I'm just saying.
That ain't what made her stay. What made her stay is she gave up on having her own whole man. And she thought the feeling she had for you and the little bit of time you was giving, you must have been giving a lot of time because you say you didn't get no money. You had a key in the house.
Let me tell you something. No, Jane, this woman never one time asked me to pay a bill. She never one time asked me to do anything financially for her. She never, look, and some people
often did you go and use your key?
Quite often.
Like, I mean, give me a number of days out of the week.
Maybe 4 out of 7 days a week.
That's what you gave. You gave time. Her need was for time, quality time, and attention. That like she need that that physical touch was and quality time was all she needed. And she was lazy and didn't get out there and realize, sis, you are worth so much more. But I get it because I mean we get lazy. Like shit, we black women, we be tired. Hell, we got the weight of the world, and we gotta try to put some energy to dating. But yeah.
Somebody asked me, did she pay me to be with her?
God damn, please let the answer be no. Oh Lord, wait before you answer. Okay, what's the answer?
She never paid me, but she would do
Did
anything.
she give you money? Is what we're asking.
Did she ever give me anything?
No, like did she in any kind of consistent basis give you things, money, things?
I mean, I never really needed anything, but if
Okay,
there was
sis, I was worried. Okay, I was worried. Don't worry, but we good. We good. Cause that was gonna be, but like I said, agility, ladies.
So
be agile, have time for it, make time for it. You know, let's lose that language and say, oh, I ain't got time for this. We got time. Let's say we got time. I got time.
Being that we speaking of money, that's going to walk us right into our third topic. So do men expect from women to be women and stay in your place until the bills are on the table? Because if I got to stay in my place at all times,
I'm gonna need to break the question down first. Let's start. Give me the first part of the question because I can see I got a problem with parts of these questions. What's the first part of the question?
Do men expect for women to be women and stay in their place?
Right there. What is this place we speak of?
I'm sipping my tea now. I'm just a question poser.
You are posing a question, but I needed clarity. And since you said from men, and you're a man, I'm a woman. You're a man.
Let me give you where I'm going with that. So, does a man expect for a woman to be a woman as far as allowing me to lead my household? And when we're in my household, allow me to set the climate in my household. And basically, when I say stay in your place, if I'm disciplining the kids, allow me to discipline the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Allow me to do what I'm doing as the man of the household.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. I'm not saying stay in your place as in, you know, get your ass in the kitchen and fix me something to eat. And I'm not saying from that perspective. What my point is, do I expect for you to walk 2 steps behind me until the bills get here? And then it's like, Jane, where your half at?
Okay. That's why I don't know if I'm the best guest for this, because when it comes to that, if you've ever paid attention to my What's Up Wednesday, we're coming back September the 9th, but shout out to What's Up Wednesdays. But 7 o'clock, no, actually we're 6. So anyway, but upon one of the topics we had on my show was the fact that if you ask me specifically to pay 50%, we are not dating. We are roommates. So so the translation of me walking any amount of steps behind don't equate to me with me and my roommate. Now, if we 50-50 and we roommates and we have a sexual relationship because we roommates, I mean, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't get what you're talking about. Because I don't listen unless I'm paying less than 75%. I'm paying less he needs to be paying 75%.
You paying 25%.
Preferably, and then I'm paying 24%, and then my ear canal opens up to hear something some man is telling me. But at 50-50, I don't hear shit because we roommates and we could be in a sexual relationship living in the same house. But me listening no. No. Okay. I'm not going 50-50. So let's see what the other sisters got to say about it. And let me say this.
So one that already said it will never be 50-50.
Thank you, ladies. I knew that I was not alone. I do also want to say this. I have also never lived with a man, y'all.
So somebody else, back on our last subject said, what led you to cheat?
I can I answer before you answer?
Go ahead.
Because you had somewhere to stick it. That's why.
Really,
that's
Jane?
why.
Really?
Somebody opened it up and said, you can come here go a key 4 days a week and just stick it in him. Now, if he didn't have 0 holes to stick it in, he'd have been faithful. But go ahead, say what your answer is.
Boy, you so hard on your boy, man. I thought, man, you was better than this.
Go ahead, what your answer is?
Well, because when you find out there are other transgressions going on from her perspective, and instead of just stop it, when I probably should have just left from the beginning, but there were kids involved, I stayed when I knew stuff was going on. And I could go into specifics, but
boy, you know what? Even if that was my answer, like if that was what you just said, if that was my real answer, I would have framed it some other type of way. I'm like, I'm not going to give them this classic cheat nigga answer. Like, I'm not going to just put it like in the same damn paragraph, in the same order with all the same details. I would have been like, okay, this is what I'm going to say to him. But you didn't say that, did you?
No, I did not. I told the truth.
You just came with that same
I told the truth.
Classic, I cheated on my wife for 10 years ass answer.
I told the truth, though. So you want me to make something up? I told the truth.
Ladies, did you see what he did?
No. Let me say this. On top of all that, I'll admit, and I have on my previous shows, that I was absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. And as a man, I can admit that. Because
again, how you gonna put your cheating on the back of this woman like that? You know, I mean, well, black women ain't gonna never get off the ground messing around with black men and white women. Y'all not gonna let us move forward. How's she the reason you cheated? Tell me again.
I said when I found out other things were going on, I should have just left. I should have just left. I should have at that time put everything on the table, counted my losses, and vacated. But I didn't. I was being petty as hell because I am still the king of petty.
And I shall be the queen.
When your ass doing wrong, when your ass doing something, I'm gonna put it on the table. I'm gonna put it in your face. Don't think I'm crazy. But now, you know what? Now, honestly, like all these years later, and we stayed married a long time, 20 plus years. But after all these years, like, quit shaking your head.
Because I just wonder why. Okay, go ahead. No, just moving on. You were saying, go ahead. I'm listening.
I'm just saying now what I realized, my approach to doing what I did was very immature as a man, very extremely immature. And I was absolutely wrong. I take all the fault for that at this point in my life. But at that point,
how long had y'all been married?
Let me finish. I was angry. And the one thing that I had to learn through counseling for myself, not for my marriage, not for my family, but for myself, is that hurt people. We want revenge. When we find out things, I want you to feel the hurt and pain that I felt when I found out these things. Right. So the only way I can get back at you is to do the things you did to me to make you feel where my pain was coming from. When in reality, what I should have done was confronted the situation and then prayed about it and allowed God to lead me in the direction I was supposed to go. But that's not the approach I took. And I can be honest and real with you that, Jane, shit, I fucked up. I did.
No, I mean, you don't owe me any apologies. I mean, and I'm sure as long as you have forgiven yourself and you sound like you can definitely acknowledge that, you know, that was a mistake. But I you know, sometimes I just listen to the language that Black men use when they're talking about these pains, and it does put some responsibility on the women that they cheated on. Not to say that all women are not, you know, I think that cheating is definitely the weak reaction. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard to confront situations, and sometimes cheating make you feel like you were avenging something. but really it's just you, like you said, hurting yourself, really,
Yeah.
because you always feel guilty, you know what I'm saying? You always feel embarrassed, once you confront yourself with the shit. So, but yeah, I'm gonna let you out the hot seat.
Oh,
I did have one more question, and I'm gonna let
go
the
ahead.
infidelity, the
Go ahead.
philandering go. How long had y'all been married before the infidelity?
What I found out,
No, we're
or
talking
what I
about
did.
you. Yes, because you seem to think that you're avenged because you were cheated on first. But how long before you decided to take the weaker route of cheating back?
Man, I'm a guess and assume it was about the 7 to 8 year period.
Oh, okay.
After about 7 or 8 years.
Okay.
What you got to say about that?
Nothing. I just was interested in seeing, was it like an immediate thing? Was it after y'all had the kids and y'all had just kind of still drifting apart a little bit or something? But y'all stayed, y'all pushed through 13 more years. So something had to be there.
Yeah, well, not really, but yeah, sip your tea.
Next.
So let's talk about these mommy makeovers, man, and all these women out here getting, Jane. They going
these PPP surgeries.
Yeah, these PPP surgeries.
Long surgeries.
Where they getting fat transferred to the butt.
BBLs, the Brazilian butt lift.
Yeah, they getting Dr. Miami to lift their titties and all this.
And the thighs ain't matching.
Yeah.
And the back's not snatching.
I had a girl tell me that she wanted her vagina area in her clothing to look like Beyonce in a picture. And she sent me the picture. She's like, I want to look like this. And she literally sent me the picture on her phone that she gave to her doctor. So the doctor told her that he could give her a vaginal rejuvenation, which would tighten the area, and as well as lipo to the inner thigh, which would give her the oval look that she was looking for.
All I have to say is this.
Now, how is that health related?
None of it is health. Yeah, you want to know how it's mental health related. I am just astonished at the number of women, especially young women, who literally just believe that some sort of way a fat ass or thick lips is gonna change their life. And when I think about that, I'm like, who are they doing it for? They can't be doing it for men. I mean, because all these years men been banging it out on women with flat ass lips and flat asses for since the beginning of time. I mean, I don't know what is going on. I wanted to ask you what's going on. What's going on in the men world? What they out there talking about that got these women feeling like they need to do this? Is this coming from men energy or something? Are men wanting bigger asses out, or?
For me, man, honestly, I think social media and reality TV, I think so many women are seeing the end result of what these women look like when they come back from under the knife. I mean, let's be real. They all want that Cardi B body, but you don't know what
Cardi B body is not even banging. Have you seen her body? It's like the thighs don't match because the butt too big, and then it's like when you take all the makeup and the clothes off of it, it's not sitting pretty and natural and bouncy, and it's not
Jane, whoever sees her in that state, we see her with the clothes on.
Anybody who is following her on social media should have.
But I'm saying from the perspective, but look at all these other women who own these reality shows that's got these $1 million bodies, and that's what these other women want. That's what they shooting for. Why else would they be transferring fat from their stomach to their ass and getting their thighs lipoed and I mean, come on, why else
And
would they
this
be?
kind of goes back to what we were talking about in the very first segment when you were discussing colorism in the community, and I was talking about those other dominant qualities that sometimes are like have a bigger impact on men choosing whether they're gonna, mate or whether they're gonna date a woman. And one of them is definitely how a body figure. You know what I'm saying? Colorism is one thing, but like if a woman has full breasts, hips and ass, with a smaller waist, and definitely that woman is and that was a more of a thick girl thing. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's these slim girls wanting thick girl features, which is so interesting to me because as
Somebody
a matter
else
of fact, I have a friend that
somebody else just said on here it's called follow the leader.
yeah, definitely follow the leader because I'm seeing big girls. I'm talking about women over 200 pounds going to get this surgery before they've like actually gotten in even a healthy body, weight, strategy or like frame. I mean, like their BMI is like over 35%, and you gonna get this middle snatch. But sis, them arms though. What about your back fat, sis? Like you didn't get the top back part done. You just got the bottom and the booty.
Yeah, Lisa said it's reality TV and low self-esteem.
Well, I mean, I think it's definitely so low self-esteem. I think that I'm gonna make a separation amongst women who are making an investment in themselves because they doing something with it, whether they, influencers or trying to make their little money with, because they didn't got their body together or whatever it is they're doing. I'm gonna separate them from the chicks who literally are looking at those women. Mm-hmm. They're looking at these women as, oh, these are the fitness models, and this is what they did. They're looking at them and thinking that that's going to bring the same attention. And I'm like, because it's attention seeking. Don't y'all think it's attention seeking? Like, ultimately, it's about trying to seek the attention of other women. Because I don't think men give a damn. That's why I was asking you, Kevin. Do y'all care? Do men even care about whether a woman has a snatched middle?
Man, let me tell you something. There's got to be so many other factors in my world to attract me to a woman than her middle being snatched. Because if you got a snatched middle with a bad attitude, shit, I ain't interested no way. Because your attitude didn't turn me off. And that was Kevin in his 20s when I was a Texas Tech football player. That's still Kevin at 52 right now. Regardless of how nice your body is, if that attitude is stink, man, you can't do nothing for me. Nothing at all, period, for me. I take that back. I take that back. You can point me to your friend with the good attitude.
I think men want something soft too. You know what I'm saying? Like I think they want that natural jiggle, that naturalness to it. I think it's this just I be working out. I be getting my workout on, but I will tell y'all, you see that I am still too thick because I love to eat. You know what I'm saying? And anytime I do start getting really small, you know what? All you fine shit be gone. These dudes do not want. That is not what they looking for. They like that jiggle. They like that little when I'm a lot thicker and it's just naturally a little jiggly. All that old hardcore G.I. Jane muscle ass slim shit. They be like, girl, you look skinny.
And look, on the real, I'll be 100%. And any man can jump on here and tell you the same thing. At the end of the day, when we banging that ass from behind, we like to see that ripple go back to, that give us motivation to go a little harder, a little harder, a little harder.
You know what I'm saying? Like nobody is trying to like, and I get it. Like that's why everybody you go work out. I'm like, we all try to like accentuate whatever it is that we think we got banging. You know what I'm saying? If a chick is light skinned and is working for her, sis, get your skin on glow. Like that's what I say. You know what I'm saying? And being, curvy and being, sexy or foxy works for you, work that. Or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And for some people, it's personality. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody best shit ain't out here. Like this ain't always everybody's best trait. I know some people who I don't give a damn what they look like. I'd rather be with them than the most beautiful person. Like, because this person.
Here's a question somebody hit me with just now. They said, why do men chase the women that every other man then had?
Girl, that's for you. I got my thoughts, but I'm gonna let you go, and then I'm gonna say what my thoughts are.
Well, okay, let me say this for me then. I don't play the chase game. Like, I like what I like, Jane. I'm just being real. If I see Jane and I like Jane, shit, I'm going after Jane. I don't know at that moment maybe how many men then had Jane or how many other dudes liking Jane. If I see Jane, I'm going after Jane. I mean, for me, it never ever crossed my mind. Now, the only thing I can think that maybe she's speaking of is sort of in the entertainment world when you got these celebrities that go from one athlete to the next. But I think that's also about athletes just wanting to smash because they can move around like that. I don't think that's about them wanting her because ain't nobody putting a ring on it. They smash and pass.
I think it's status, though. I think it's the same reason why these women are out here going to get these bodies. They see this chick over here that's living a particular type of life. She's able to pull a particular guy who's gonna, take her on trips and, have her in bikinis and, they just think that there's this particular lifestyle that's gonna come with that body, right? And so they go chasing that so that they can try to grab that status that may come along with it in dudes or, raw goods, whatever it is. I think guys do the same thing that, if you've been with this particular woman and, guys, view her as being like the shit, then having a woman that's her or like her, you know what I'm saying? Which is why they out here buying bodies. And, the baby out here talking about he just bust her out the rapper. That's what these rappers are saying about these girls. He just bust her out the rapper.
Okay,
they got her body done for her.
Somebody just said men talk. And I would venture to say men do share. So maybe that's why they end up dating the same. Okay, so let's me use you and I, hypothetically speaking. Jane and I start fooling around. Jane got some killer head.
I don't like the fact that let's start over. Jane and Kevin and I start fooling around. Kevin got some killer head.
But she said men talk, not women talk.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, I just wanted that story to start the right way. Okay, but anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I might share with my homeboy or my dude I played in college with that's in the league as well. And you never know the relationship that men have. So this was my college roommate.
Same thing with females. You never know whether or not you've been passed along. See, women are less likely to have that conversation. But don't think for 1 second that women won't pass you.
Pass me. Hey, I'm pass me.
Nah, that's what y'all all say till y'all find out that y'all girl.
Really?
Y'all be out there crying when y'all find out y'all got raped and talking about, yo, pass me, man, pass me, crying in the corner with his thumb in his mouth.
Hey, even in divorce, I was nowhere crying. Even in divorce, I was nowhere crying, baby.
And see, that means I thought you went through therapy. You tell me you didn't go through therapy.
No, I went through therapy. I went through therapy for me.
You ain't doing right.
I went through therapy for me.
Oh, okay, because I'm gonna say you didn't do it right if you ain't cried.
Oh no, I never cried. Honestly, I really didn't. Because at that point, like I told you earlier, though, Jane, at that point, I was angry. I was angry at that point. I was really more mad at myself because I allowed myself to stay in that situation. And I should have been out. I should have been out of it years ago.
No, that's I think that's a common feel for us all. Anybody that's really loves somebody or they want to give up on a relationship. I don't, like if you've been through something with somebody that you didn't felt that before, where you felt invested in that person in that relationship, but then you realize, man, you gotta let it go. That's a hurtful hole. That setup is hurt. And I would only imagine if you were married with kids,
Hey, look, Jane, we got
a lot of years to do any damn thing.
Yeah, we got like 4 minutes left. Okay. So here's what I want you to do for at least 2 minutes of these last 4 minutes we got. Talk about your show and what y'all got coming up and when.
Okay, sure. So we have a show called What's Up Wednesday, where it is on my Facebook page. Like I said, follow me, Jane Taylor, Taylor, and we discuss, the current topics. We talk about, what's going on, what's fun in the world, what some of the facts that are going on. I love to talk about politics, and then we definitely love to talk about the foolery, all the ratchet that's going on in the news. And we try to keep you up to date. Make sure you know you're in any hood news. I am your hood reporter. If you want to know what's going on in Sunnyside, South Park, baby. But yeah, you can follow me on at Jane Taylor, on Facebook, Jane2Fly on Instagram, and if you are looking for some fitness, or like I said, you want some good ratchet workout ideas, she keeps me fit on Instagram. So there you go. And we will be back with What's Up Wednesday on September the 9th. So Wednesdays at 6 p.m. So right before this show.
Okay. So we need to find a way to link up to make sure your people, my people watching you and your people watching us, so that we can continue to, do things together going on in the future. Well, and I gotta say this. We both Thrust Street projects.
Yeah, I'm in MLK and Reed people. Okay, South Side for live. South City for live.
The only difference is I was a Raider. I was a Raider.
Oh, you better be glad that I don't have, Jesse H. Jones, Falcons for life.
It's okay you was a Falcon. I ain't gonna dog you like I do the rest of it.
For life, baby. That's okay, though. I got Raiders blood rolling through my family, so I'm not gonna hate on y'all exactly. And because I do work with Sterling and y'all wonderful aviation program. And y'all have a whole airplane in y'all school.
Dig a hole. Hey, that's my girl, Jane Taylor. Look her up. Become her friend on all the social media outlets. Share this with people. Spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend what he said with Kevin Walker every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. That's how it go down. More guests coming. Thank y'all for viewing. Raider Nation. What's up, Raider Nation? What he said with Kevin Walker.
Falcons, baby. Falcon takeover for the day. I know y'all out there, Raider Nation, but had to spice y'all up tonight.
Look at the other side.
You better. I wish I would have known. I would have came here in black and gold, baby, like from head to toe, black and gold.
Thank you, Jane.
All right, bye.
Have a good night.
You too.